I'm Beck, and I'm the founder and CEO of Future Tech Australia. Future Tech is a neurodivergent-led social enterprise that has the mission to inspire the neurodivergent minds of the future to build a better world for everyone. We do this through community capacity building and through the delivery of neuroaffirming programs that focus on well-being. For the past decade or so, I've worked across a range of different areas in the disability space. My younger brother, Sam, was diagnosed as a child. And so I made it my mission to learn and understand everything that I could about autism and ADHD so that I could support and advocate for him. I actually thought myself quite the expert, which is a little ironic considering I completely missed it in myself. I always thought that I thought like an autistic person, but that I couldn't be one because I didn't look like what I was told that autism looked like. Like so many women and girls, I slipped through the cracks. I was high achieving, people pleasing, and constantly masking, but underneath that, I was really struggling. I developed anorexia at a young age and have continued to navigate a complicated relationship with food ever since. I also experienced major depression and periods of suicidality and attempts. At the time, all of these things were treated separately, but now I see them as part of being a neurodivergent person without the support, the language, or the understanding that I needed. It wasn't until I joined a team made up of predominantly neurodivergent people that someone gently suggested I consider exploring an assessment. I did, and receiving my autism and ADHD diagnosis as an adult was truly life-changing. I finally had a way to make sense of my experiences, not as deficits or personal failures, but as part of a different way of being in the world. When I told my brother, his response was, duh, which made me laugh because, of course, he'd known all along. That diagnosis gave me a new lens, one of self-compassion and a deep drive to make sure that no one had to struggle for as long as I did. And that's really what fuels everything I do. I love that my brain is endlessly curious. I'm always asking why and what if, and sometimes why not is the best question as well. I like to constantly pull at threads and connect ideas and see patterns where other people might not. It can be a little chaotic at times, but it's also a source of so much creativity and innovation and empathy in my life. My brain can hold a big picture vision and tiny details all at once. It's what helps me to imagine new systems, challenge old ones, and build things that don't exist yet. I also love that my brain feels things very deeply. My brain might not always follow a linear path, but it definitely leads me to the most interesting places. Building community has started with creating the kind of space that I always longed for. One where people can come and feel safe to be their full selves without having to shrink, mask, or explain. I've mostly found my people by leaning into curiosity, honesty, and care, and by being willing to be vulnerable first. Often when we show up as we are, it gives other people permission to do the same, and that's where I've found magic can really happen. At Future Tech, I've seen how powerful it is when neurodivergent people come together in a space that's built for us, by us. It has also taken a lot of trial and error. Not every space is safe, but I've learned that the right people will get it. And when they do, you tend to feel it straight away. In difficult situations, I try to pause and ask what I actually need in that moment. Sometimes it's practical, taking a break, moving my body, asking for help. Other times it's more emotional and reminding myself that I'm allowed to feel overwhelmed, that I don't have to be or get it perfect, and that my worth is not tied to how much I can carry, which is probably one of the hardest ones. One of the most important things that I've learned is to put systems and support in place when I'm doing doing well so that I have something to fall back on when things get rocky. I have a personal burnout plan that helps me to recognize the early signs and reminds me of the things that support me, because when I'm in that, I am the worst person to try and identify what might be helpful. So that plan, along with community and a lot of self-compassion, helps me to stay grounded. I've also learned that softness, rest, and boundaries are very essential. It is a practice, though, not a destination, but I'm slowly getting better at showing up for myself with kindness instead of criticism. So it is essentially kind of a 3-tiered plan where you have sort of a stage 1 of burnout. What does this look like? And what types of things help me at this point? And then you have that sort of for a level 2 of burnout and a level 3. So honestly, just the act of actually writing all of this down and thinking about it has helped me to avoid getting to that really, really critical level 3 stage. It's also an amazing communication tool as well, I've found. So at Future Tech, we support our mentors to create burnout plans if they would like to do that, so that they can share that with leadership teams. So we can also be looking out for some of those early warning signs. My partner is very across my burnout plan. So when I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out because I just can't identify it in myself without some prompts, having other people also across this plan and able to also say, hey, I've just noticed that you seem to be not quite yourself. Like, would you like to do this thing that I know that is on your burnout plan that helps you at this point? It helps me to be able to start to identify some of those signs, and also it helps my community be able to support me better.